I've just bought my first off-plan project. Everyone's been asking me where would I invest, and it's probably not where you think. So I am actually part of a smaller minority that has purchased via off-plan for personal use, and it's definitely a slightly different lens to does this project make sense in terms of capital appreciation, rental yields, growth, etc. It's more for personal use and end user. However, within that, if it's good for personal use and end use, it's also good for investment because the kind of metrics you look at in terms of is it a strategic location? What is the supply scarcity looking like? What's the developer reputation? What's the lifestyle vision? These are all kind of factors that have encompassed why I've invested in this specific project. So let's talk location. First things first, I didn't invest in Dubai. What's happening in Dubai? No, this is again a personal decision. So I think first and foremost, Muna and I were looking for a beachfront community. Originally, we were looking for an asset ready in the secondary market that we could renovate. We were looking at locations like a Palm Jumeirah because fundamentally we wanted beach access. That was probably number one priority to enjoy whilst we're a bit younger, whilst we're very busy with work, just quick and easy access to enjoy that beach lifestyle. Now, in the secondary market, from our H1 report, for example, the likes of Palm Jumeirah have continued to appreciate in price. What we were originally looking at in Shoreline, a 2-bed, was around 3.3, 3.4 million at the start of the year, roughly 6-7 months ago. With fees and renovation costs, we wanted to be all in at 4 million, and obviously mortgage part of that as well. Now the prices have gone up, and essentially we've been priced out. So within that, we saw off-plan as the opportunity to get what we're looking for, get a bit more value for money, and get essentially the main criteria of a beachfront community with beach access. Where did we land? In an area of Abu Dhabi, kind of in Gantut region, which is between Yas Island and also between Dubai Marina. Now, from a personal perspective, I work in Dubai Marina. I'm active in Dubai meeting clients. Main time of the week gets spent in Dubai Marina. So travel time was a big consideration. With Muna, she works from home. So again, to have a beachfront community where she can utilize the amenities and what's essentially on your doorstep was idyllic for her. But then when you look at some of the traffic times of coming to work in the morning, sometimes coming from Arjan in Dubai, I was traveling 25, 30 minutes, sometimes more than that as well. Traveling from Abu Dhabi, you're looking at around 35 minutes door to door, maybe slightly longer with traffic as well, but it's a straight line at a higher speed. So we were willing to kind of sacrifice location of a Palm Jumeirah to get more value for money. But even within that, despite, I'm going to contradict myself here, despite saying that this was for personal use, we still wanted to make sure that it ticked the investment criteria as well. Again, fundamentals, one of the aspects is location. Abu Dhabi is where this project is situated. Why has Abu Dhabi stood out to us? I will walk you through this now. So I think Abu Dhabi has a different proposition than Dubai. It's much more family orientated, it's quieter, it's more peaceful, it feels a slower pace of life compared to the hustle and bustle of Dubai, which again, I'm not trying to escape from, and I think different families, different end users will have different priorities as well. But within that, again, linking back to that kind of beach lifestyle, Abu Dhabi beaches are absolutely sensational. The water is clearer, the beaches seem cleaner as well. I don't know if this is just maybe the time I went, but I also think it's slightly less hotter than Dubai. Don't quote me on that. That's just how I feel as well. I'm not the only one to say that. But within Abu Dhabi, we have to look at what is actually going on from an infrastructure investment. On Yas Island, for example, this is already a family-orientated entertainment spot. Incredible malls, incredible amenities, similar to Dubai as well. But with Disneyland being recently announced, this is going to be another significant worldwide attraction to increase tourism, like what Dubai has done as well, like what Ras Al Khaimah is doing with its existing tourism based and what's coming with the casino as well. So to be part of an extension with Disneyland of what is already fantastic on Yas Island, that was a big plus for us. Now, within the location we've invested, we will also benefit from the Dubai South expansion, where we're expecting 35% of GDP to come from Dubai South. Expo City is going to be a big business hub where already a lot of major corporations have been confirmed to move to Expo City. They're already operating there. They've got their offices confirmed. It will become a significant hub for business. And of course, within that, you're one stop away on the metro line from what will be the largest airport in the world, which will see a lot of people coming in and out of Dubai. Being near to that location, we will benefit from that in terms of what will expand in the future. Additionally, this part of Abu Dhabi is a beachfront community where currently there are only 2 projects on the market, including this one. The government wants to fully invest in building out this beachfront area. So to be kind of the first adopters and be one of the first communities to hand over, we should see the appreciation from that. Within this as well, Abu Dhabi is investing significant amounts into AI. It is trying to become the Silicon Oasis of the Middle East and leading this kind of AI kind of war to who can do it first and who can do it the biggest as well. And for the foreseeable future, I think alongside Dubai as well, don't get me wrong, I do think Dubai is doing a lot in AI and will continue to do so alongside the rest of the Middle East, but Abu Dhabi is definitely spearheading for what they want to do next. For the rest of this video, I'm going to specifically be talking about Imkan's project in Naseem, AlJurf, where I purchased, and the unit specifics and why I landed on this project. It's a coastal sanctuary situated between Abu Dhabi and Dubai, perfectly located for our lifestyle and other people's lifestyle within the community as well. You're going to have over 1 million trees planted there. It's not just a place of live. This is very lifestyle orientated because what we see in the market as a whole is that waterfront, beachfront communities are very limited, especially for a villa and townhouse and apartment community. There's only so many spaces of land where you can get this space. Location specifics, again, we're talking 35 minutes away from Dubai Marina. We're 50 minutes away from what is downtown Abu Dhabi. We're 15 minutes away from the Zayed International Airport. And it's a secluded location. It's private, it's intimate, but it's very accessible again. And I think this is the wider trend of what we're seeing in the market is that the international family moving to Dubai, Abu Dhabi, UAE, they don't see these commute times of 35 minutes as something that's strenuous. My commute in London was 45 minutes to 60 minutes. That was a very good commute. Some people would travel from outside of London on the train. And when we look at what's to come next in the market with Etihad Rail and other infrastructure investments, it's only going to get more accessible to move to and from these outside locations of where you are working as well. So for us, I think it's a very privileged position to say I work 35 minutes away from my office. I can drive there. I could even get a driver as well. Again, it's a privileged position to be in and other people think in the same way as well. So location was perfect for us in terms of what we were looking for. The developer background, so it's Imkan. They are Abu Dhabi based. They are backed by Abu Dhabi Capital Group. They have projects across the UAE, Egypt, Morocco as well, so they're internationally recognized. And they have a reputation for building these master communities and delivering on that vision as well. And I think it's very wellness driven. It's not just about the real estate aspect, but also the experience you're going through within these communities. Essentially, you've got a team that is focused on high-end delivery, strong execution. They have the track record of that as well. And I think as well, what really stood out to us is the overall design, the internal finishing as well. It's very modern, it's very towards our style and taste as well, and it fits into that beachfront lifestyle, that kind of blending a Mediterranean Arab influence, and definitely the renders showcase this in a fine format. And just the wider community feel of the vision of what we saw in the master plan, what you can see in the renders as well. It's something very attractive that aligns with the lifestyle that we were looking for. The amenities is something that really stood out to us. Again, beachfront access, 800 meters away from walking distance to the actual beach. You've got parks, shaded walkways, you've got the clubhouse, yoga decks, wellness zones, a retail plaza, which F&B will obviously be to come as well. So it's definitely a home where the detail supports the lifestyle you're going to be living. Again, the kind of vision from the developers of what is expected to come with the wider community. As that kind of maybe growing percentage of buyers that are investing in off-plan for personal use, within that, sometimes the objection is, well, when is the handover? If it's too far out, do I want to be renting for what is an incredible home, but what is the opportunity cost of renting in that time? So for us, with this particular handover in Q3 2027, 2 years away, we kind of weighed it up and thought, hey, it's worth the wait to get something we want. It's something to look forward to as well. We're happy to rent in the meantime as well. And like we've got a good rent where we are, we're happy where we are as well. And then we can continue to work and focus on our businesses and kind of when that gets handed over, move into that and have our base set. Construction's already commenced. The wider community, the earlier phase, is already handing over as well. We picked up one of the townhouses in the later phases as well. So hopefully around the time where we move into the property, the wider community is going to be pretty much finishing all together. Within that as well, the payment plan is linked to the progress, which I'll go through shortly as well. Specifics of the unit I purchased. So again, compared to what we were looking at in the secondary market in Dubai, we've landed on a 3-bedroom plus maid's room townhouse corner plot, backing an internal greenway, close to a park space diagonally opposite as well, close to the marina, close to the pool as well, close to all the amenities. In terms of location, we were very, very happy with that. And again, to get an undersupplied segment of the market in a townhouse, again, even in Abu Dhabi, this is something where we thought, wow, in Dubai, in the ready market, we're looking at a 2-bedroom apartment where we'd probably need to do renovations, and we've now been priced out. But to then get a 3-bedroom townhouse and a maid's room, corner plot, bigger space as well, for us, it was a no-brainer. Internally, we're looking at a space of around over 1,800 square feet. The plot size as well, we got something slightly larger, around 2,350 square feet, have their own garden space, like make it our own as well, plant the greenery, maybe put a nice seating area, barbecue space, have people over, have family and friends over as well. It's just something that we really thought, wow, we wouldn't be able to get this in Dubai for the budget we were looking at the timeline we were looking at as well. And I think as well, maybe a bit selfish of us, when we reflected on how busy we are, the lives we live as well, did we want to go through our own personal renovation, or did we want something that we could trust from a developer that has delivered time and time again for the quality and design we're looking for? That was a big thing that stood out to us, because sometimes renovations take a lot of time investment and project management as well, and sometimes things go wrong. And even if you have a solid team that you're working under that are executing your vision, you still have to go through the design process of picking what you want and going through specifics, and sometimes things do overrun as well, which is the nature of the market with these things. And just in terms of the wider community for reference, so you've got a range of 4-bedroom villas, 5-bedroom villas in different locations, some of them on the marina, some of them in different park locations as well, mix of different plot sizes, internal spaces. You've also got a range of apartments as well, both from entry level to functional spaces that might work for personal use as well. So yeah, the wider community has a lot of functional different floor plates and layouts as well in different locations that are worth exploring. So if you would like to access this and go through the brochure and floor plans in more detail, do drop me a message, do leave a comment as well. We can get in touch, jump on a call, meet in person to go through the wider details of this project. So let's talk numbers. And I think this is definitely a project that stood out to me in terms of the actual price per square foot itself, the value for money you're getting, but also the flexibility of the different payment plans. Now, a lot of developers are very fixed on the payment plans they offer. They might offer 1 and 2, and it might be incentive based as well. And for us, going through the personal use aspect, we opted for a 40-60 payment plan, where our plan is to actually finance the bulk of the property, the 60%, on handover when the building completion certificate is released. And we want to spread that payment out over 20-25 years mortgage, which again, for that personal use, we're not really considering as an investment, even though it does have the option to be so, because there's also a return on equity play within that we've only paid 40% during construction. So if for whatever reason we wanted to sell, then we're only looking at 40% invested at that point in time. So it's also the case that life could change in the 2 years, and maybe we don't want to live there, maybe we're in a different country altogether, maybe the family's bigger, who knows what can happen at that time. Life does throw curveballs at us. So again, within that, we have the opportunity to go and examine the villa, look at the space, decide if we want to move in. If not, we could consider it as a rental asset, or we could look to flip it in the current market. And we'll discuss the metrics of the appreciation story shortly after. Now, again, I really liked from the developer that if you wanted to pay more during construction, so for example, 70-30, 60-40, even 100% upfront, 50-50, there was incentives based on the pricing. I think that's a very fair way of adopting it, both for the developer and for the purchaser as well. So again, for us, we secured a townhouse for around the 3.27 million mark, and on the 40-60 payment plan. So slightly more than if we went for more construction-led payment plan of the 70-30, 60-40, etc. That completely works for us in terms of spreading out our payments, not having cash flow restraints to continue what we're doing in our current lives as well, and also to plan with our other investments as well, and to plan to finance essentially the handover element. Now, within this as well, the Abu Dhabi land department equivalent have cheaper fees. So in Abu Dhabi, it's 2% versus in Dubai, it's 4% as well. So we've also saved there. And the timings of the payment plan as well was very attractive to us, because in some payment plans, even though it might be flexible for the handover amount and the construction element, you might be paying a lot in the first 12 months, which can hit your finances and cash flow. This payment plan was very flexible, works for us. Again, I won't go to every final detail when each payment is, but it's very flexible overall. Now, again, kind of going back to how we were looking at things in terms of the Dubai market and what works for us, the competitive comparison, so to speak, 2.2 million dirhams roughly gets you a one bedroom in a business bay, kind of Meydan Horizon region, maybe slightly cheaper depending on what project you're looking at, what floor, what view, without going into the exact specifics. So to then get a townhouse roughly 1 million more, again in a beachfront location, close to that Dubai South expansion, was exactly the value for money we're looking for. And even if we compared to the likes of the Valley, fantastic Amal community, probably one of the next up-and-coming communities now phase one has started handing over. In the new launches, we were also looking at a similar price per square foot, a similar size, but for the amenities that didn't suit us, because again, we wanted a beachfront location. And if we look at the data of what it suggests, anything beachfront, waterfront has that strong appreciation story. Why? Simply because there's less availability. There's only so many beachfront communities they can build. So let me be fully transparent as well. When you are looking for personal use, it is more emotional led. You're looking at, does the space work for you? Then it gets really real in terms of, wow, we're buying a home. This is where we're going to be living. Is it the right fit? It's much more emotional led. And I've even worked with some top executives that are buying for personal use and the numbers make sense. It's a great deal. And sometimes the emotions overwhelm us. It's the nature of these things as well. And that's definitely the decision and discussion points that Munna and I were having. And I think that's what we come back to, that despite this being for personal use, it still made so much sense from an investment perspective. Again, for that price per square foot, around 1,700 to 1,800 dirhams per square foot for a townhouse that is an undersupplied segment of the market in a nature forward living environment, lower density than Dubai, a clear expansion plan for what is to come in the near future in Abu Dhabi through the reasons we've discussed as well. All these reasons why it's a fantastic end user product make it very good for an investor, because we are expecting to see that appreciation on handover, which makes it open to the possibility of reselling on handover or maybe renting it out for 1 to 2 years and then looking to resell as well. That segment of the market where you're only a short drive away from Palm Jebel Ali, which has been a complete sellout project, also alongside Bain and Aura as well, that their phase one completely sold out, had very high demand. We know this area of the market that is probably emerging to some people in the region, because it is beachfront and because it is very attractive on a price per square foot basis, we will expect to see that appreciation in the short run, medium term, and long run as well. And I think within that as well, we will also then see the rental demand when the community hands over and when it starts to establish itself as a serious name in the market, which is what we see as a trend overall in the market, whether it's in Dubai, Abu Dhabi. If you look at a Marouj and Al Fajan, for example, it's seen that strong rental demand. It's seen that strong demand for end use as well, because of the value for money it offers compared to established communities like the Meadows and the Lakes. We typically see the best appreciation on handover and after handover. If you are considering this kind of project for an investment, what you have to then consider is, what is your strategy? What is your exit strategy? When is the right time to flip? And again, everything I've gone through there is the right way to be looking at it. You could easily hold this for your own personal lifestyle to use as, a second home, a holiday home, so to speak. You can look at the long-term rental market, the short-term rental market, flipping on handover, maybe even slightly before handover, depending on where the market is as well. But I believe the fundamentals of what makes it a good investment are ticked by this project in abundance as well. And for every project, sometimes it doesn't tick every box. For us, it did. For other investors, it might not. But I truly believe the market fundamentals and why this is a good investment are strong in abundance, and we will see this as a strong name in the near future. I will add as well, just as a bit of market context, so we've done some strong homework on Expo City as a fantastic short-term rental play. And I think you're looking at around 12 to 15% on the short-term market due to the traffic that is expected in Expo City from the number of events they will host from what is the largest exhibition center in the Middle East. And again, if someone's coming for business for a period of time and they're going to be operating from Expo City, they may want to use a beachfront community as their residence to stay to also be connected to the wider Abu Dhabi offering as well, because we focus on this region that is essentially halfway between Abu Dhabi and Dubai, but you've also got the wider established areas of Abu Dhabi, Sadia Island, Reem Island, the financial district in Abu Dhabi, which is seeing a lot of attention from investors, private equity funds. A lot is going on in that region that is an expansion on what Dubai is doing with the IFC and Expo City as well. So to have that kind of attraction, again, for an end user that might be working between both cities and will be better connected in the near future from Etihad Rail, for example, this for me is a no-brainer. I do believe there is a short-term play that can be operated there in this community, whether it's from the apartments, whether it's from the townhouse and villas as well. So to summarize, we have purchased around 3.27 million. It was kind of a lifestyle-led investment for personal use as well that had that potential to exit if we needed to, if we decided to in the near future. And what I would say to anyone kind of considering it is that the asset fundamentals are there. It's a beachfront community. For us in this segment, it was an undersupplied segment of the market in townhouses with fantastic access to the amenities inside the community from a developer that has a strong track record as well. When you compare to the price per square foot in a Dubai in certain stronghold locations that are established, it is simply a no-brainer on the price per square foot basis. That is the full breakdown of my first off-plan investment in the UAE, which landed in Abu Dhabi, which is a surprise to some of my clients perhaps, but again, for good reason, with good due diligence as well. If you're thinking of doing the same, you want some further details on the project itself or any other projects in Abu Dhabi or Dubai or the UAE region, please comment, please subscribe, please like, please share with your family and friends as well, and let's connect.